Well, how's it going? So that was a very strange game, I must say. Very frustrating from an Irish fan perspective. I don't know whether it was Ireland being very poor, rusty, or that Australia just did a number on Ireland's scrum and line out especially. Was it 4 line outs missed? Lost, I should say. And even then there was a few kind of scrappy, there was a few lineouts where Ireland kind of managed to just about hang on to possession. I think there was 1 or 2 like that in the second half especially. And I don't know. It's difficult to say where Ireland are really from that first game. If you're Australian, I'd say you'll be gutted. Because I don't know, it looked to the untrained eye, or as a casual rugby fan, I suppose that's what I am. I'm not an expert. I'm not in previous. I've never played rugby at any high level or anything. So, but just from a lay person to the untrained eye, so to speak, I just thought Australia looked much better. There was a period in the first half especially, it's just like every time they attacked they looked like they were going to score, and they managed to convert much more easier, much fewer phases, and it looked a lot easier for them when compared to when Ireland scored. It took a lot more effort, a lot more phases and things. I know there's 1 or 2 tries, like the Gibson Park one just before half time. That was arguably the best try of the game, actually, from either side. I think that particular try was very well taken, very well constructed, and just to the untrained eye, I don't know, like line breaks. I'm not a stat nerd. I just go by what I see with my eye, but I believe. I don't have the stats in front of me here, but I think Australia had way more line breaks than Ireland did, and that's what I'd guess based on what I saw. Sometimes when you look back on highlights, or if you look back on a game, even like a whole game, you might see certain things that you mightn't have realised watching first time, because maybe the emotion and the stress of you might notice if certain players did well or better than you thought, or maybe worse than you thought. But who knows? I might watch kind of some of the game tomorrow just to see how they well, if I can, I don't know. Anyway, I'll try to, if I can get some extended highlights or something even. But yes, so that's kind of what I think. I think Ireland were very lucky, and there was I was looking at For the Love of Rugby podcast. Is it Ben Young's? He was saying something I thought was interesting. He, as a former England player, professional rugby player, he was saying that he felt that Ireland were kind of in second gear for most of that game, and that they've more gears to come, whereas Australia were kind of near their best. Australia were near their best according to him, and Ireland were, nowhere near their best, and yet they still won. So I don't know what that says. That's according to him. He's an ex-pro, so obviously, an ex-professional player. You have to take what they're saying with a degree of merit, of course. But I just thought that was interesting that he said that, and so maybe, yeah. So I don't think Ireland. Well, hopefully, they I can't see them being that poor again. Hopefully, because they've a pattern the last kind of couple of years, the Six Nations, the last few November series games, of starting very poorly and very sluggishly, and hopefully that this first game now out of the system, a few kinks and things, and but there's a few there's a few issues personnel wise as well. I thought I'm a big fan of Jamie Osborne, but to me, again, as a just as a casual fan, but it looked like he was out of position for at least one try, possibly two tries in the first half. They went down Ireland's left, Australia did, or down their right side, and I just thought it just looked like Osborne was kind of in no man's land. He wasn't on the left. I mean, he's a left winger. I mean, that's where he's supposed to be, and he wasn't. I just think that if James Lowe was there, he'd be kind of sticking on the wing or whatever. I mean, he might cover the backfield a bit, but he'd be there. Like, it was that first try was so easy for Australia. Like, there was so much space. There were two Australian players down Ireland's half, left side, I should say, that could have scored. Two of them could have scored. The fella that scored, he could have easily just passed it to the other fella and easily would have scored. Just an indication of just how much space there was on the left, and that's, the last time I saw Jamie Osborne playing on the left or on the wing for Ireland was against France, and Ireland were annihilated by France on that day. And I remember there was an existential crisis going on that time. People saying, "Oh, we've no wingers. Oh, they're too slow. They're this and that." But at the time, James Lowe was out, Mike Hansen was out, Balakoon was out, and I don't think Tommy O'Brien wasn't there either. So there are wingers there, but I mean, Jimmy O'Brien as well on the right side, I didn't think he was great either. High ball, defensively, offensively, I think he's an okay player. I thought he might be better, because I remember him coming on for the quarter-final in the World Cup against New Zealand. I think he came on, didn't he, for the last I don't know, was it the last 15-20 minutes or something like that. I can't remember exactly how many minutes he was on, but I thought he did well, and I remember people talking about him, that he did well when he came on, but there's probably a reason why he's not been picked really for Ireland, or even Leinster really as well, that much. He gets some games in that, but I mean, he's not a front liner. You're playing a knockout game in the Champions Cup, in the semi-finals or the final. I don't think you're starting him. And so I don't know. I'd put so that's a weakness. That's a weakness from being a place of great strength, with Balakoon and Tommy O'Brien in the Six Nations, and James Lowe, I thought was playing very well. I thought he played very well. It was against Italy, wasn't it? That first game. I think he played against Italy and he played well, and then he was playing very well against England, but unfortunately he got injured, and I think that was the last time he played for Ireland actually. But I think that's a serious issue. People are saying, "Oh, he's his age, whatever," but I don't know. I think he's very important, and for at least one more year, because there's no point in talking about the future. Like, he's going to retire in a year or two or whatever. What are we going to do in 3 years, 4 years? We need players now, whatever. But you need to win. You need to win games, and there's maybe a case for Zach Ward maybe coming out. His power, his pace. He might be worth giving a punt against. Is it Japan they're playing next game? So maybe give him a chance at left wing. Like as I said, I like Osborne as a player. I think he's very good at centre or fullback. I think he's very good, but it's just out of position. Doesn't matter how good player is. I mean, you wouldn't put him in at 10. You wouldn't put him in at scrum half, or you wouldn't put him in the back row. Technically he probably could do a job there, but I think that the wings were an issue for Ireland, both defensively and offensively. I thought Hugo Keane was excellent, and I think without him we would have easily lost that game, if he was injured. So thankfully he's not injured, hopefully not anyway. But they're just kind of my thoughts, my ramblings, so I suppose. But I think if they play like that against New Zealand, they'll be they'll lose by a good 15 points, if not more, I'd say, at least. They'll seriously have to improve to have any chance against New Zealand. And I don't know, James Ryan, I like him as a player, but he's prone to kind of these brain farts or whatever. Like I remember against South Africa, he was extremely lucky not to get a red card, straight red. Then today, the latch he went off, he took Valentini off, and the frustrating thing about that foul he conceded, Danchin scored. It was a crucial time, but he didn't need to do that because Sheehan was close enough to the line, and I think it's one of the backs that was going to tackle him. Sheehan at that range, 1-on-1, was it 2 meters from the line, whatever, he has the power and the pace. And Valentini, even if he wasn't body checked, he was too far away from Sheehan. Realistically, I mean, Sheehan, I don't know. I'd say there's probably a 90% chance Sheehan would have scored that try, even if Valentini wasn't body checked. So that's the most frustrating thing about that. And that would have, had Ireland scored there, then all of a sudden that changes the game completely. And what was it, 2 points difference in the end? If they score, then you're talking about more than a converted try between them, and that completely changes the game then. But anyway, I just thought that was very frustrating, and he has those kind of brain farts in him. I've seen him doing that now a good few times. And also another time, not to be picking on any player or whatever, but I remember Ireland were doing well, they were attacking well, and flashed across, and maybe the pass was a bit too high, maybe, but I think it was James Ryan again, and butterfingers. That was an excellent chance to score, and they probably would have scored there, but I don't know. I think he'll have to seriously improve. Line out has to seriously improve. 4 line out losses, misses, and kind of 2 or 3 scrappy wins, I suppose. Scrum, no scrum, no win, as they say. Well, I mean, luckily they got away with it today, but they conceded at least 2 penalties and possibly a third. And there was 1 or 2 in the first half where Australia seemed to be getting a shove on. I thought referee could have given 1 then as well. So the scrum is an issue. Scrum is an issue. Line out is an issue, and the 2 wings is an issue. So there's a lot of work to be done for Andy Farrell and the whole team. So hopefully this first game, just get that bit of rust out and get the WD-40 on, and hopefully that'll kind of loosen up and be able to kind of get into. But some of those tries were very, very cheap, very weak. I mean, the Australian 9, I can't remember which try, was it the second or third one, was it? There was I think it was from a line out or something, and he just got, and there was kind of a man pile, I suppose, but he was able to get the ball out, kind of swivel, feint to the right and then turn left. And there was plenty of Irish bodies there, especially I think there was 1 or 2 forwards, but somehow one of the smallest players on the pitch, the Australian scrum half, he was able to squeeze in and score a try. That, I don't know, that was poor. The first try was poor. Like there's you take those, it's just sterner, stingier, more resilient kind of, as you'd expect, defence there. That's 2 tries that they wouldn't have scored on another occasion if Ireland was switched on or just players out of position. I don't know, but I don't know, that would have changed it. But I thought defensively it'd be interesting to hear what I often listen to Luke Fitzgerald on the Left Wing podcast, so it'd be interesting to hear what he says. He's a left winger himself, or was a left winger, so it'd be interesting to see what he says. But I have a feeling he'll be agreeing with me from a defensive standpoint of the left and the right, but especially down the left side. Just kind of cheap, soft tries, and at this level, I mean, if you want to win silverware, if you want to win anything, like you can't be conceding cheap scores like that. I mean, fair play to the Australian. He took initiative and, he went through, and fair play to him. But at the same time, I just thought that was poor from a defensive. So, funnily enough, attack-wise, I thought Ireland were okay. I mean, as I said, I think probably the score of the match, probably from both sides, was that Ireland score just before half-time, the Gibson Park one. I thought that was excellent. Few offloads and just kind of nice free-flowing end-to-end, as they say. And then the importance of it as well. I thought that was a great try. So they are capable of that. And the other thing is they scored, they kind of one-off runners. I mean, a few of their tries. And I like the variation that Dan Sheehan did with the tap and go and Van der Fleer. But still, a lot of Ireland's tries were like that, just kind of on the goal line and just bang, bish bash, bish bash, bish bash, and then eventually going through. But that takes a lot out of you. And, against New Zealand, big sides, against South Africa, you're not going to score. Like a lot of the tries Ireland scored there, they might get 1 or 2 against South Africa, maybe, playing like that. They won't get 3 or 4 like that, I don't think, anyway, unless South Africa give it an off day or New Zealand have an off day. New Zealand, I think, are a bigger side, more physical. Although Australia have some big players, Valentini, etc. But anyway, that's just my thoughts from a very kind of layperson, casual fan perspective. But as I said, I might do another video. I haven't done a video in a long time, so I might do another video during the week, or I'll see how I feel. Anyway, that's great, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have anything you think I could talk about the game, or if you have any opinions on James Lowe or what's the situation there, etc., you can leave it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer. Or I might do another video, and I might excuse me, I might reference some of the comments. Anyway, that's grand. Thank you for listening, and goodbye. Slán go fóill.